Om Shanti. Meeraben is very expert I had already almost declined the offer to come. But she was very kind to adjust her own class program. She was supposed to give you class this evening. She sacrificed that. First of all, I must say a big welcome to all of you, all the sisters and brothers. Some of you may be here for the first time. May I know who are here for the first time? Quite a big number. So most welcome. As you might have seen the sign in Madhuban, most welcome to Bap Dada's home, your home. It's our spiritual home. And when you have the feeling it's your home, there is feeling of belonging. And home is where the parents normally live. So our spiritual parents, alaukik parents, they lived and they live. When I came to Madhuban for the first time, 50 years ago, it was a very small place. Just the old building you see there in Madhuban, where there is Baba's room, Baba's office, and some rooms where sisters are staying. At that time, there were just, I think, 15 or 16 people staying in Madhuban, including Baba and Mama. And so, myself and two of my other friends, three of us, we stayed in the same building, very close to Baba and Mama's rooms. There were two other brothers staying there, so 5 of us together. It was a very simple life, very simple. As those who are here for the first time, the aim is to have that first-hand experience, what we hear, what we learn from others who share, or when we listen to Baba's Murlis, there is that inspiration to have our own first-hand experience. So when I came to Madhuban with my other friends, the simple thought which was there in my mind was to experience God's presence. Before coming, of course, I had been corresponding with Baba, Bap Dada. So through letters, there was some recognition. Through Murlis, there was some recognition. And yet, the thought to be face to face with the Supreme Being. Before coming to Madhuban, I had met Mama in Bombay. Listening to her, meditating in her company, and then meeting her personally. On a very subtle level, there was that experience of belonging. And on one occasion, I just mentioned to Mama that this was a very special relationship of the mother. Mama replied, well, this is alaukik relationship. I didn't understand the meaning alaukik. Alaukik means spiritual. But there was that feeling that I belonged to Mama. In those good old days, I say good old days, it was practically experienced. Just imagine receiving mother's love, being in her lap. No doubt, it was a Lockic relationship, but very close, very near and very dear, very sweet, very inspiring, very beautiful experience. And because of that feeling of belonging, it was easy to study, easy to meditate, easy to be in soul consciousness, easy to detach the mind from the worldly atmosphere in Bombay. Baba used to say Bombay is bombo, full of Maya all around. After 6 months, of course, Mama was there for 4 weeks, and those 4 weeks was where they were very special days, because each evening, listening to Mama's Murli and meditating in her presence, and then listening to Baba's Murli. Dadi Ratnamoyini used to read the Murli to me and my friends. And corresponding with Baba, receiving Baba's letters. After 6 months meeting Baba, so Mama and Baba together in Madhuban at that time, it was indeed a very special experience of spiritual childhood. By chance, as some of you would be feeling that you are the very special ones, the first ones from your own places, from your own countries. It was something like that. Coming from Bombay, young brothers of the age of 20, 21, there were no brothers before that in Bombay. So coming to Madhuban, being with Baba and Mama, and there were not many other people in Madhuban at that time. It was mid-July 1959. Wonderful days of childhood. No early morning meditation, 4 o'clock. It used to be 15 minutes meditation before Mama's Murli, for 15 minutes, and then Baba's Murli, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. But the presence, Baba's presence and Mama's presence, you can imagine, on one side, Shiv Baba coming to speak and to give drishti from such near, close distance. Because the hall where there used to be class was very small. The drawing room of that bungalow. And Baba and Mama won't be sitting even that high actually, the way I am sitting. A small place, small seat down below. And such close distance. There was no need to think how to be in soul consciousness, how to fly, how to feel Baba's love, Baba's power. Such a wonderful, wonderful time of spiritual childhood and spiritual learning. And just imagine Baba speaking to you, just yourself sitting in front, and he's speaking the whole Murli. What would be the reaction? Can you imagine? This face would become so big in happiness. And listening, nodding, that way, this way. It was real spiritual dancing at that time. Then after the Murli, because during meditation and Murli class, the relationship of the teacher or Satguru was there. And then later on, from there, everyone would shift to Mama's room. Sitting there, Baba and Mama sitting on bed, and we would be sitting in front. Someone would recite a poem, someone would sing a song. Baba would call that meeting in chamber, Prince's chamber. That was the time when the relationship of the children and the parents practically there. Baba and Mama sharing again so much of love and giving tolli in mouth. Just imagine one by one going in their lap and receiving tolli. Later on, after breakfast, helping Bholi Dadi for a while, and then later on coming to Baba's room, little chit-chat, some indoor games, no classes. But there was something very incognito being learnt at that time. How Mama and Baba would maintain their stage of consciousness all the time. Very natural. And while playing with Baba and Mama, carom or some other games, Lachu Dadi would bring some fruit, apple pieces, or some other fruit also with that. So while playing, Baba would offer that to each one with a fork. And while giving fruit tolli, again drishti. You can just think throughout the day, receiving Baba's drishti again and again, again and again. lunchtime sometimes, Brahma Bhojan, with Baba and Mama, sitting on floor. And it used to be a wonderful experience. Baba and Mama would be giving drishti before eating and even during eating. So it was something like a practical learning how we can remain in spiritual consciousness, doing all the things, and at the same time experiencing the love of different relationships with Baba. In the evening, when I think of evening time, it used to be badminton playing time, 5 to 6, every evening. Baba and Mama's teams. Baba and two, one brother, one sister on one side, and Mama and Vishwaratan Dada and a brother on the other side, like that. Turn by turn. Others would be just standing around, clapping, encouraging. That's all. But just imagine who were playing with us. Similarly, during the daytime, other times, sometimes Baba would invite, come, sit with me in the swing, walk with me, like that. So this kind of childhood, one thing which I noticed, I stayed for 10 days at that time with Baba and Mama. Baba did not speak about our worldly things. So in a way, the mind and intellect were all the time retained in a very high spiritual consciousness. There used to be evening class, and the class would be, Mama would be sitting there in the class, say from 7:30 or maybe 7:30 to 8. And what was there in the class? The news of godly service were shared in the class. The letters which were received from different places, because at that time Dadi Prakashmani, Didi Manmohini, Janki Dadi, all the Dadis, they were not in Madhuban. They would be at different centers in big places, or they would be on tour. So the news of service they would send. They were shared in the class, or the experiences of some of the sisters or brothers, but very brief, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Mama would speak for about 5 minutes, evening Murli, and then Baba would come. Baba's meeting for 15 minutes Murli, then meditation. And afterwards we would go to Baba's place. Now this is something very interesting. Baba would be just lying on bed with his leg, one leg on the other, and we would sit around and Baba would share some of his experiences of different times. So family get together, like in India, grandfather sharing stories with grandchildren. And then after about 9:30, we would go to our places, to our beds, take rest. Baba and Mama themselves, they would be getting up early morning, doing their own personal meditation. But others, they would get up after 5. Very relaxed routine, very relaxed. Because at that time, the urgency of becoming perfect was not there, what Baba is sharing again and again in Avyakt Murlis. Now each Murli Baba is sharing, time is short, time is running out, signals are there. At that time, that wasn't there. But during these 10 days I spent in Madhuban, and there were times to listen to the experiences of other elders, some sisters and some brothers. And there was that feeling that I really belong to Baba, I belong to this divine family. As a result of that, when I returned to my ship in the Indian Navy, the first thing I did was put up an application. Please change my home address. Care of Brahma Baba, Pandav Bhavan, Mount Abu, Rajasthan. So that's how the beginning of the spiritual life was there. Spiritual childhood. And then I remained in contact with Baba and Mama through letters until October 59, when Baba came to stay in Bombay. And that was October, November, December, January. 4 months. I spent 40 days with Baba at that time because I had my annual leave still left. So that was the next step in spiritual learning, spiritual life, when Baba taught how to do service unto others through different means, different ways. You can imagine what does the teacher expect. I was too young to understand many things, many signals from Baba's side. but he took pains in guiding personally, asking me to do different kinds of service. So I would go out, carry out those, you can say, instructions and come back with the news. Baba would spend time listening to each and every detail of what I did, what I spoke. And he would give corrections. So learning the art of service. I don't know whether you have that kind of affinity with Baba and Mama on such a level. My heart would be that I should spend maximum time in Baba's company. I didn't have any other interest. Though Bombay, as I said, very many attractions and distractions are there. Whenever I would get time, just go to Baba. And then Baba taught me how to keep a note of my own progress, and that was writing the chart. What has happened? Perhaps someone has fallen down or something. Anyway, there are people, they will take care. Don't worry. Now there were some occasions where Mama and Baba, they proved it beyond doubt how our relationship was so close, so real, so near. You know, being in service and that too learning while doing, practically. Some of the problems, some of the difficulties arise. So when I would share with them, they had the patience to listen and then guide. While I learned these things, I was inspired to think about starting a center at some place. The place I came from. When I shared this with Baba, Baba knowing my future, Baba said, क्या हुआ?
सिर दर्द है तो वो सिर कुछ नहीं।
उसका ब्लड प्रेशर चेक करो। हाँ, जल्दी से। One of the mothers, I'll just tell you what's the reason why you heard the cries. One mother from some center in India visiting this place is having terrible pain in the head. So maybe some problem with blood pressure or something. Now when Baba would hear such a cry, he would rush to see what's wrong. I have one experience of that kind. Baba gave me some instructions once to extend an electrical line from one place to another so that there could be a light fixed there. And while I was doing that, someone switched on the line. And I was holding the and then I fainted, fell down. Still, I have that sign on my left thumb. I don't know, but as I was told that there was a sudden cry when I fell down, unconscious. And after about a half a minute or minute, I regained consciousness and got up, but feeling little weak. And Baba came from his room and just holding me in his arms and encouraging me, "Sweet child, you are okay, you are perfectly well, there is nothing wrong." And then gave instructions, "Okay, Boli Dadi, give him a glass of milk with 2 spoons of ghee and sugar in it, so that he has that strength again." And then he returned to his room and wrote a letter to my Dadi in Bombay. My Dadi, I said, the Dadi who was looking after me at that time, that Nirwair has got second life today. But what I like to share with you is Baba's vision about us. He wanted me to develop. He would even write to me, "Sweet child, not just giving courses, 7 days course. You need to have all-round experience." As I said, I was too young to understand some of Baba's signals. What is all-round experience, I didn't know. But then he taught me practically, doing different jobs connected with the Yajna service. Luckily, the elder brothers of that, you see, Dada Vishwakshore, Dada Anandkshore, they were there to guide me. And they took personal interest for printing jobs, for purchasing jobs, for yajna. And also, Baba used to encourage, you see, invoking all of you at that time, I would say. He told me, "You must look at the newspaper. See who are the people visiting from outside India. Look at the engagements column, where they are going to give lectures or anything. go and meet them, present literature to them, present these pictures of Kalpa tree and Trimurti and cycle to them, like that. And as you will find in some of the Murlis, Baba used to say, you must have big signs of this cycle near the airport, so that when foreigners come to India, they have some vision of Indian philosophy. So Baba's vision was so vast, as I can now understand, being the father of humanity and also being guided by the Supreme Father, that Baba wanted that the message reaches all corners of the world. And especially the pictures of Kalpa tree and the Trimurti and cycle, Baba had so much value of these pictures. Baba wanted to send these designs to Japan so that they are printed there, and from there they are circulated all over the world. So that kind of upbringing and way of guiding how to do service. And in between, now I'm not sharing year by year, because 6 years with Mama and 10 years with Baba, there was so much of learning, so much of learning. So it was like childhood, then student life, and then slowly reaching mature age, and then taking responsibilities. 4 stages in 10 years. Wonderful experiences. And there was something which I shared the other day in Hindi class. Baba wanted us to be ever ready always, ever ready for service. And 2-3 things which always come in my mind. One is one wonderful experience of Madhuban after an exhibition at Abu Road, when I came here feeling very tiresome. So I was enjoying very nice rest up there in that dome room of the aeroplane building, where we normally hoist the flag on Shivratri. After a couple of days, just Baba sent for me after he finished his lunch. And so I came, rubbing my eyes. And then very sweetly Baba asked, "Sweet child, what are you doing?" And then, like a little kid, I started sharing, "Baba, it was so hot at Abu Road, very exhaustive, and so I was taking rest." And knowingly or unknowingly, I just shared, "Baba, it seems I will need a lot of rest." And Baba gave such sweet drishti. For a long time, everyone is very fond of Baba's drishti. Everyone wants long drishti. So Baba gave lot of drishti, but while giving drishti, it was like empowering me, as if my tiredness was being removed. And then Baba asked me, have you accomplished the job of re-establishing Golden Age? Such mind-boggling question. Until Golden Age is established, no rest. So I could understand Baba wants me to do something. So I asked Baba, okay Baba, so what would you like me to do? And then Baba sent me the same evening to Shimla for setting up an exhibition there. Like that, such things happened on different occasions. But the one side which it touched me, that Baba had so much trust in the soul. He had that trust that if I go with his instructions, I would be able to do the things the way he wants. And he started, having that kind of guidance, giving that kind of guidance from 1959 itself. First time, 7:30. I'll just share a few things more and conclude, not very many, but a few, which would give you the idea how that nearness was there in a relationship. One was, it's a very touching scenes which come to my mind. In 1964, Mama had been operated for breast cancer. I didn't know what it means actually at that time. And Baba sent me from here to Bombay to meet Mama there. As I went there, the normal way I would meet Mama, so I just went receiving her drishti and went in her lap. Ramesh Bhai and Ramesh Bhai's elder sister, Dr. Anila Ben, they knew what surgery had taken place. And they were objecting to my going in Mama's lap. I felt very bad. Why are they objecting to? But Mama told them, don't worry. Similarly, once I was in the hospital for my correction of the nose bone surgery, I couldn't come to meet Baba when Baba had come to Bombay. So I picked up the phone and spoke to Baba. I said, Baba, I can't bear it anymore. You are here in Bombay and I can't see you. Is it possible for you to come and... So Baba very sweetly gave the reply, Baba would speak to Ramesh and let you know in the evening. And 5 in the evening I received Baba's phone that Baba would come with Ramesh Bhai at 6 to visit me at the hospital. So this is something which gave that feeling how close was the relationship. And as parents, spiritual parents, but Mama and Baba gave so much love, like, what should I say? And those experiences have left so much imprint on the soul. Not just the appreciation of their love, but those experiences became, you can say, the source of so much learning. When the responsibilities come on us, we need to continue those traditions. There were many other occasions when Baba's and Mama's love, they were experienced in many, many ways. Once in Bombay, Baba's, I think that was 3rd or 4th visit, after myself coming to Baba, after evening meals, Baba was strolling in the drawing room of the flat he was staying. And I was just there, a step behind, and suddenly Baba stopped and started giving me drishti. And then asked me a question. One thing is there, let me confess, Whenever Baba asked a question, suddenly any question, I was not able to answer. Baba asked me, do you know how much money is needed to re-establish the golden age? I simply kept looking into Baba's eyes, longing for the answer. And Baba's answer, now if I disclose this to you, you will feel very intrigued. Baba said, just 3.5 to 4 lakhs of rupees. Now I understand, that was the seed money. Baba donated the first donation for setting up the trust. And then I read Baba's letter which Baba had written unto Mother Om Mandli. At that time, you see, the organization, it wasn't a formal organization, it was just a satsang. You see, people getting together to sing devotional songs and then listen to Baba speaking about Gyan. So unto Mother Om Mandli, in Sindhi, Baba had written, I surrender my body, my mind, my wealth to Mother Om Mandli. From now on, it will be taken care of by the new trust of 8 sisters, eight mothers and sisters. It is meant for the re-establishment of golden age, something like that. And then signed Om, that's all, in red pencil. Baba's red pencil. Baba used to write with red pencil all the letters, even the murlis in the beginning. So those things, you see, when you come across such nearness, such beautiful things, it brings very sweet, very deep feelings of belonging, and then receiving direct guidance from the Supreme Being. There was one occasion, you see, until Baba was there, I didn't have to think and plan what to do, because Baba's directions would be there and just doing what Baba wants. When Baba left the body, Dadiji wanted me to come and stay here because she also left Bombay. For first 1.5 years or so, I didn't know what was my role actually, because no one there to guide like Sakar Baba. And Avyakt Baba's Murlis were at that time to give sustenance to the divine family, not to miss Sakar Baba's presence, almost twice or thrice a week. But then I got time to think, to reflect, And then Baba also gave guidance. The role changed. Started reflecting on the coming years. As the number increases, what is required in yajna, and that is continuing till today. But Baba has kept the soul very close. He is guiding directly, indirectly, and I feel very, very special, I must say very special, that Baba has so much trust in all of us, and he has the vision of our future. He has the vision of what we can do, and he also has the power to empower us to do what he wants us to do. So this is in short today about my very near and dear relationship with Baba and Mama. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.